What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Maverick Raven coming at you with another video, and we're gonna be doing a reaction to Ren's Eden song. This is another recommendation by Miss Mama Montoya, and all of her recommendations have been on point. So we're definitely gonna check this out, and I think there's gonna be a little bit of, I'm guessing that this has something to do with like Adam and Eve and all that. So this ought to be cool. You know. That's my background. I like my religion. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like religion, or it's not cool to be, you know, a theist. But what can I say, bro? I'm a Catholic, and I've always loved my religion, dude. You know. But before we get to the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All of that stuff really helps out the channel. Plus, we'd love to have you be the newest member of the flock. The flock is for life. So come check us out, guys. We'd love to have you. The air is for everyone. Now, where is... Okay. Dude, I swear, bro. I swear. I'm getting blind. I need new glasses, bro. That's just it. I need new glasses. Alright, here we go, guys. Let's see. What's up here? Nah, hold on. I'm hearing some static for some reason. What the hell's that static? Sorry about this, guys. Very unprofessional, but I just started hearing it now. Alright, here we go.
Let me tell you a story as old as time.
Freaking Ren and his video game love, bro. I'm right there with him, bro, you know?
Let me tell you a story as old as time. The story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share.
Bro, Ren is a bard, bro. I don't care what anybody says. He's an actual modern day bard. I know that he calls his type of music bardcore sometimes, and it's such an accurate representation, such an accurate definition of what he does that, I mean, it's super fitting, dude. It's super fitting. This right here is him just basically telling a story, and you're like, all right, where is this going, you know? Very cool, very cool. Not biblically accurate or anything, but that's not what we're here for, you know? And yes, before the stones start, I'm telling you, this is one of the most, like, popular stories behind Lucifer and all that. But if you actually just go straight off the Bible, no apocryphal sources, dude, you know, Satan is not Lucifer, at least not according to the Bible, you know. So let's put our heads down and let's get through this. I'm gonna try to pause it as little as possible. We got more than 7.5 minutes, bro. It's gonna be a long one, you guys. But I'm here for it. Don't let that make you think that I'm not here for it. I'm loving this. This is my type of thing.
Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God to tell good from evil, left from right.
Yo, that was scary, bro. He put on the demon voice on it. Let's check that out, dude.
Bestowed only to a God to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angry. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me.
Yo, look at that badass anime, dude. Yo, this is cool, dude. This is cooler than any freaking live action thing you can do. Well, let me not say that, but it's pretty freaking cool.
Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God.
That is so cool, man. That was like an AI reading it, right? That is really cool, dude. What the hell?
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God.
That was Siri,
Supposedly
I think.
all-knowing.
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in it.
The argument is there as to whether or not Satan does have free will or not. Okay? Now, yes, Satan was cast down from heaven and a third of God's angels went down. Yes, all that's true. But, you know, it's in the Bible, whatever. And all that is something that you can link to. But the fact that he is linked as being the same being as Lucifer is where the mix-up comes in, because Satan just means adversary. You know what I mean? So, but this is so cool that he's telling the story. I just want the music though. I thought we were gonna have like a 9-minute long jam session. You know, the story's hard as hell though. It's awesome.
Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in the image of our...
Oh wait, and I wanted to say, and the other thing is that a lot of people think that obviously God being omniscient, why am I saying they? God knew that Satan was going to rebel, so he let it happen. So people say that God, that God gave Lucifer the short end of the stick because he knew he was going to rebel, and he basically condemned him to earth first. At least that's the implication, that he's on earth right now because he's not in hell yet, according to the Bible. This is all according to the Christian Bible. But he will be in hell come Revelation.
constructed in the image of our Creator.
Meaning our...
So listen, I'm not trying to preach, but I just think that this story is really cool. I think this is a subject that's rich for interpretation, reinterpretation, artistic interpretation. You know, every type of depiction is okay as long with me. With me, it's okay. You're gonna have some hardline Christians that are gonna say, "Oh man, that might be heresy or what have you." But this is obviously just a song to entertain. They're not trying to corrupt anyone. But I could also see why people would get angry if you're basically saying, "Oh, this was in the Bible," and it's not. So I could get that. But either way, I'm here for it. This is awesome.
behaviors in some shape or form imperfectly echo his.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts, but as the most
powerful
being in the universe
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place?
Here we go, I think.
Constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution. Here we stand, in 2023, as creatures with free will. The only creatures that understand and define good from bad. Creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations.
Look, I love Ren. I'm a renegade for sure, for sure, for sure. But I don't agree that greed is the most destructive of the sins. If we're going to go with the Catholic model of the old, traditional 7 deadly sins, I think pride is worse than greed. Because think about it. At the very least, pride leads you to greed because you think that you deserve whatever it is that you're after. If it's money, a position at your job, whatever. You think you deserve it. You see yourself there and you think you deserve it. And yeah, that's envy, but, you have to see yourself there first before you can envy anybody. That should be mine. But that's my position, and it's not like that's not a position of super conviction or anything for me. It's just, that's just my opinion.
Insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians
and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land.
We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them.
I have to drop the HBO. Oh yeah, let's sell out HBO. You know what I'm saying? Let's throw them under the bus. Dude, I'm sorry, I think there's not going to be a song. This is crazy.
Through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment.
I know that Catholicism gets like a really bad rap with the fire and brimstone and all that. But, the Bible says to just do good for the sake of doing good. Even for it not to be because God wants you to do good because for the sake of doing good, So I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I don't know. Either way, whether this is a song or not, this is really cool. It's just, this is not what I was expecting. That's why I'm kind of like, what the hell?
In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity?
That's 100% true, bro. Bro, it's 2025. You said it was 2023. It's 2025. If you're watching this, this is when I'm recording it. And we still don't have, like, even a little bit of a cure for cancer? Really? And it doesn't matter, like, how rich you are. We still don't have it. Why? Because the money is in the treatment, not in the cure, bro. You get cured, that's it. You don't have to worry about it until maybe you get a rebound case of cancer or whatever. But you get cancer and you cure it. Oh, no chemo? Really? No chemo? Cool. And let me tell you, chemo is expensive. It's horrible. I would not wish that on... I don't even think I would wish that on my worst enemy, dude. That's how bad chemo is, man. You know, when my mom was going through it, and as a matter of fact, my mother-in-law went through it too, and she survived. But a lot of people don't, man. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. But Ren's 100% right, bro. Because why do we charge for things like water? Things that we need. These are not luxuries or anything, you know? Like, and that's my friend, you know, I have a friend named Jonathan, and he's always, like, telling me, bro, this is kind of weird. Why does this happen? And I'm like, yeah, it's true, bro, you know? And his big thing is water. Water should be free or whatever. But I don't know, man. I guess someone's got to purify the water, distribute it, package it, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, man, like medicine needs to be somehow, you know, the doctors need to be paid, nurses need to be paid, hospitals need to be paid. What we need to change is our entire for-profit system. And that might mean that we need to analyze capitalism and see how we can improve it. And I don't think that is with, you know, socialism in any way. Socialism, communism, none of those.
Could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity. How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth.
Yes! Oh, wow! Okay, my boy knows his scripture. Okay, he's right. It doesn't straight up, if I remember correctly, it doesn't actually say Satan was condemned to hell, or it doesn't say Satan was condemned to earth. It doesn't say Satan is on earth. But the thing is that he's not in heaven. He's not in hell yet. Where else is he going to be? Because the Bible doesn't talk about like a parallel universe or anything. So where is he going to be? He's not going to be on Pluto. You know what I'm saying? So he's on earth. Crazy. But my boy knows the scripture. I like that.
He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Right? Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Bro, that was a super cool video with a lot of work put into it, a lot of self-reflection put into it. That was really cool, dude. That was really cool. It wasn't, there was no music for me to react to, but I can react to what he's saying, right? That was really cool. That was really well made, dude. I was watching yesterday the King of Kings, the new animated story about, you know, Jesus, and I was kind of like turned off because it wasn't speaking in an antiquated affect. It was speaking like, if you know, I literally was expecting Jesus to just come out and be like, "What's up, everybody?" Like that's how fucking normal it sounded. They were speaking in modern day English, and I was like, no, no. I don't know, man. Like I was the only one that was really like super put off by it, but I was, man. You know, I don't know. But dude, I was watching that yesterday, and that's so cool that I see this today. I really didn't know it was gonna be like this. I had an idea that it was gonna be about Adam and Eve, but I thought it was gonna be, you know, music. But in a way, Ren gave us something better than music, and I'll explain why. Number one, it starts a conversation. Number two, it shows his heart. It shows that he's actually a good guy and he cares about this stuff, which he doesn't need to show that to me because he's shown that to millions of people already. He's shown that way a long time ago, way before 2023, that he was a good dude. And you know what, bro? Respect to him. He's a good guy, and you know you can't knock a good man, bro. Not in a bad world. A good man in a bad world, he's got enough to put up with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys, thank you so much, Miss Mama Montoya, for giving me this recommendation. This was fun. I feel as if I need to do a reaction video now to some music because I don't know, man. I feel like listening to some Ren. But tomorrow, the 31st of May, 2025, we're gonna be doing a live stream at 1 p.m. Eastern, okay? It's gonna be Ren at Dead Wax live, the live video of him at Dead Wax. So please set your notifications. Come join us. We'd love to have you. Even if you can only stay 2 minutes, say, hey, what's up, guys? You know, much love to Ren, much love to everybody here. You know, that type of thing. Hi and bye. I can't stay. Even that, bro. That, you know, we'd love to have you. You know, there's a lot of us here that we enjoy each other's company. We enjoy Ren and we bond over it, and dude, it's fun. It's fun. But for me, I gotta find a new video to react to, man, or a new video for me, right? So, anyways, use that comment section. It's there for a reason. I really love hearing what you guys say and think, and your questions. I always get to them eventually. I don't answer each one because, you know, some answers don't need to be given, but I do read each one. I promise. So yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out. It's my pleasure to be able to, you know, speak with you guys. Maybe you guys are cooking dinner in the background. Who knows, man? But stay safe and stay based.